Hi world, it's Jengwin, and right now we are live on TikTok. I have not recorded an Ill for Real episode in weeks. I don't even remember the last time my episode was. I had a big life update reveal on my last episode. Obviously, if you're listening on the podcast, you know that. But for my TikTok fam, if you didn't know, it's been a while, and I tried to do weekly episodes, and they're just on this podcast. I like to get deep and I like to get real and talk about real life stuff with real people in my life, but I don't always have the mental energy for that. So I started another separate podcast with very short, sweet, fun, goofy episodes. It's called Immediately No. So I update more on there than Ill for Real. But I really miss you guys and I like our deep talks, and I have been trying to think of a way to get you guys on here to interact with me. And I was going to set up another phone number so that you guys could call in and we can have phone chats and things like that. But I love the interaction on TikTok lives. So I was hoping that I can get you guys to come join on TikTok so that I can have you join live with me and I can see your face and we can all talk and laugh and talk about things with people that I've never even met. I just like talking to real people. So we are live right now, and we had a few hundred in here a second ago, but now it's dwindling down to my little intimate circle of friendwins. It's 11:11, and a second ago on TikTok I was like, oh, and my jaw dropped. My angel number is one other ones, and I just looked into this. Actually, this is kind of a conversation that I have on these episodes of Ill for Real. But I just looked up what my angel number is because I keep seeing ones everywhere. And every day, twice a day at 11:10, I happen to look at the clock. Does this happen to anybody else? Where, of course, you see sequential numbers and just signs and things like that. Lately, for me, it's ones just everywhere. And apparently your angel number is like what is the word? Celestial. Your celestial garden is like garden. I wish I had a celestial garden. Your celestial guardian is like sending you little signs of like hope and like just love, and that they're watching over you, that better things are coming. But literally every day I'll happen to I sleep in a lot. So I'll happen to wake up and I'll be like, and I look at the clock and it's 11:10. And I just did it right now at 11:10. So that was really weird. Because I feel like I never miss it. Anyways, yes, I see 555, the angel number of change. Sarah. Okay, so I'm reading your guys' comments on TikTok. And I love that we can have these conversations, but I'm going to see if you guys can join and request. So if you have a little button at the bottom of your screen, it's a little girl and a little guy. Just hit it, request, if you want to join and talk. If not, then you guys can keep commenting and we'll interact, and I'll just annoy the shit out of you this way. How do you figure your angel number out? You add, yours is 9. So you're supposed to add the numerical numbers. If your birthday is in March, it's a 03. So if it's November, it's 1-1. You add all of those numericals for your month, the day, and the year. So it should be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 numbers. You add that together, and then what do you do after that? I get distracted with the comments. So you add those together, and then if that is a double digit, say the total of that number is 14, then you add the 4 and the 1, and that makes it a 5, which makes your angel number 5. So you just add those until you get a single digit. So mine was 3/4/1991. Sorry, podcast, you only get the good stuff. You don't get the actual conversations that we have on TikTok. You have to join. The only spooky thing right now is my husband. Kathy said the only spooky thing right now is her husband snoring next to her. I want to hear your spooky stories. I'm getting questions about the camper trailer. If you guys have specific questions of the camper, I have been wanting to update the podcast on this, so please send them my way. I never really know how to go into this conversation on a podcast because I feel like I would just yap about it for years. But if you've been following along on Ill for Real, you know I've been traveling the country. I'm a wedding singer. I was living an SUV life, then I upgraded to a vintage camper, which I turned into a wedding photo booth for wedding and event receptions and parties. And then a month later, I wrecked it. So then I got really depressed for like a year and a half. And then um, I was like, I'm going to spend all summer fixing it. And a lot of stuff was happening, and I was going through a really, really horrible divorce. So I just announced it on my last podcast episode about just in general why I now have the title divorcee at age 32. So I didn't fix the camper all summer, and then comes fall and it's beautiful outside. I had the energy to start working on it. And now the weather's really bad. Tomorrow is Halloween and it is supposed to snow. So it's just been a work in progress. I'm gonna catch up on a caption. I wouldn't want to scare you with my face. I'll stay in the comments. Thanks, Sean. I think you can close to keep. Oh yeah, you can join without the camera too. Actually, Kathy, thank you for mentioning that. If anybody wants to join, it won't show your face unless you allow access to the camera. So you could just be like a little box down here, and it's just going to show your profile picture, and we can still like have a conversation, if that makes sense. So, um, yes, I have started working on the travel trailer. I am in the midst of it. Of course, the most important part, which is putting the aluminum walls and siding on it. Yeah, that was yesterday that we just put those on finally. It started snowing. Indiana. Um, but we got a lot of the studs and the woodworking done and things like that. Insulation is up. The door, okay, so the door, if you guys remember what it looked like, it's like a pillow diamond shaped design, and it's very hard to find this aluminum for these vintage campers. So I found a website. My sister-in-law helped me, Paige. She helped me find a website in California. I don't even remember what the name was, like vintagetrailers.com or something like that. I called him up. I sent him an email of the photo of what my camper looked like. And he was like, "Oh yeah, that's the 5 Ridge, $34.99, number 204." I was like, "Sure, okay, whatever." And he knew right away what I was talking about, what I needed. He had me take some measurements, and he also had a diamond, the pillow shape aluminum for the door, which I was very concerned of not having that character from my vintage camper. Um, so it was shipped from Cali to Chicago. We were not home to accept the shipment, so it was shipped back to Chicago, and they were going to charge me another buttload of doll hairs to reship it. And my best friend had just come into town from Houston, so she's very adventurous. We hopped in the car and we drove to Chicago, and we picked it up at the loading dock and drove this gigantic box full of my aluminum siding rolled up into it, brought it here, and then just so happens my once upon a father-in-law um, was like off work and offered to help put the siding on because he likes doing these kinds of projects and yada yada. And so we did all that yesterday. It was a great learning experience. Thank you to whoever purchased my tin snips for me from my Amazon wish list. Those came in very handy. All of your guys' gifts and contributions have been very, very, very appreciated and well worth your hard spent money. You do not ever need to send me anything or money, but it is appreciated, and I love you guys so much for the support. So the next step, for those of you on TikTok, you already know this if you've been watching, is painting the inside of the drywall that we've put on the inside wall of the kitchen, sealing it up a little bit more for any moisture. I am putting glass panes back into the metal frames correctly this time with silicone, and then I have butyl tape that's going to go on the backs of the frames, and then the aluminum walls need to be properly nailed and screwed in. I searched high and low. I have to get the right nails and the right screws to put the walls on, so then the windows and all the vents that I took off can go on over it, and that is the last step. But then I keep forgetting about the door, guys. The door was really, really banged up. It was very damaged. It took the brunt of the impact, and I'm very nervous about it. We were able to salvage the aluminum covering of the front of the camper door pretty well. It's just kind of bumped and dented up at the bottom, and I don't like that it's not perfect because it's going to be used for weddings, of course. So that new wall that they sent me, I'm going to be able to use some of that aluminum to make like a, what is it called? Thank you for the heart me's, guys. Like a shoe kick at the bottom. So the design's going to be a little bit different, but basically I don't want to take apart the entire door because it's so much work. Looking into it, it's very tedious. I am not a metal worker. I'm already not a woodworker or camper worker, nothing. And this has been a shit show in itself. So I think we're going to do with the door as is, and it's going to be salvaged. And the only thing that is compromised right now, mic check, me. Oh, that's fancy. I've never seen that. Sorry, podcast. They're sending me gifts on TikTok. So I'm just responding to people. The frame, the wood frame and everything, the screen door, everything is good. The hinge, there's a really long old vintage piano hinge, if you know what that is all in great shape. I can't believe the screen does not need to be replaced, nothing. It's just the framing on the camper itself, the door frame is jacked up. So I bought a roll of aluminum at true value that I think I can roll out, flatten up, bend, and pry and yada yada to cover little sections just to secure the unsecure stuff that's on there. I'm going to seal and silicone everything, and then the whole camper is going to be repainted anyway. So you're not even going to know. Nobody's going to know. And the brides are just going to be very happy on their wedding day with their wedding photo booth experience. I'm very excited. I hear a dog. Or is that a cat? Or is it a human? Hello? It is Halloween. It could be a ghost. It's definitely a dog. Those are some claws. I'm trying to think of what else to say for podcasts. That's a lot of the information that you guys were missing on the camper itself. I don't remember what else I was going to update you guys on. I get a lot of questions on TikTok, and people have been mad at me for 2 years for not going into details about this. So if you're in this live stream right now, there's only 49 of you guys, and you have been a long time follower, you know now. I've given more details to Ill for Real, the podcast, but I am recently divorced. And where was I going with this? I just didn't know where I was going to update the podcast from. This has been my life, just up and down, depression, all over the place, back and forth, this state, that state, this mental state, bad state, good state, just all the states, all kinds of states. And now we're in camper state, and I'm in my Bob the Builder era, and I'm in my queen era, taking care of business, getting shit done, and trying not to be stressy, depressy all the time. No more Eeyore. I'm not in my Eeyore era any longer. I can't do it. But I don't mind answering questions about my my personal life anymore. I wanted to be left alone through that whole process and to process it and just live my life without having to constantly explain myself. But I can answer your questions about that. I know a lot of people have been through that. A lot of people have been cheated on, and now it's the dating scene and the single life and this and that, and I don't feel like a divorce is anything to celebrate. I know some people love it, and people are always like, congratulations, oh my god, go have a shot, celebrate, party. I do not feel like that at all, because this was not my choice, it was not my doing, and it's not something that I ever wanted. I nobody gets married and is like, can't wait to be divorced one day. Can't wait for this shit to go to hell. Like, nobody wants that. And if you do, that's fine. No judgment. But I did not walk down an aisle on my wedding day in a wedding dress after spending thousands of dollars of my own money because we had zero help from anyone around us. It was all me and him. doing. And I hate, I just don't like it. But that doesn't matter. Like moving forward, I can not like it, but still, look forward to happiness and a future and better things, and hopefully not being depressed one day, So I don't mind answering questions about that, is all I'm saying. And camper questions. I'm going to scroll my comments so I can read what you guys are saying. Okay. Carmela, if you go to Home Goods soon, please look for a bagel stool for me. What is a bagel stool? A bagel stool. Being someone who does redecorating and design for people's homes, I feel like I should know what this is, but I don't know what a bagel stool is. It sounds delicious. Hopefully it has little speckles in it, because everything bagel is the best kind. Sean says, once it's done, the crash never happened. Double meaning. Double meaning. Don, why did divorce, if I may ask? Well, it all started when I found out that my once upon a husband was having an affair. So then it was 2 years of torture after that. Just looking good for you. Jim, musician, actor, sports star. What is your pick? Musician or an actor or a sports star? For like a dream job? I mean, musician is most achievable for me because that's what I am. I would love. Actually, yeah, I pick actor. I would love to be an actor. I used to just want nothing but to be on the Disney Channel. I wanted to be a Disney Channel star. I wanted to do the Mickey Mouse ears thing. I wanted to be something where I can sing and be, I don't know. I would go back and forth between, do I want to be main character, or I just want to be the goofy sidekick. I want to be the obnoxious, like the just silly, funny, goofy girl on the side that no one really takes seriously, but I don't know. It's just funny. I just want to be a funny person that makes like the Jim Carrey and Jack Black faces. Okay, hang on. There's a lot of comments. So, hey, weren't you on speed dating this past week? my friend. Oh God. Okay, podcast. I'm gonna release some information. Yeah, I don't like the dating scene at all. But my friend was in town. We're very goofy. We were in a chipper mood, and nobody took me seriously on there. They were like, oh my God, she X14. Look at me right now. I have a tiara and stars on my face, and I have pink hair. And I was just giggling because I was nervous. But yes, I was on speed dating. There's a guy on here that does live streams, and he has people join. As I was trying to get you guys to do, nobody's requesting to join, but he has people join and then tell him about themselves, and then he'll try to find a match in the people who are requesting to join for like who might be a good person to date, and then they join his live and they go live together, and then they have like a quick speed date. And my friend was begging me. She was like, you have to do it. I was like, I just took my makeup off. I look stupid. It's 3:00 in the morning. What the fuck are we doing? And we did it. It was interesting. Yeah, I was just really nervous. I blocked half of it out. So sorry. If you witnessed that, I apologize. Kev says, love how open and honest you are. Thank you. Yep. That's what we do. Not only on the podcast. Thanks for joining, Ale, for real. But I don't know. I can't with the small talk. That I need to warn them next time I do the speed dating thing. Like, literally, do not ask me what my favorite color is. I can't. Immediately no. That's going to be my immediately no for this week's other podcast. Brian, same. It's rough. And dating now is horrible. There wasn't really social media when I first got married. Yeah, absolutely not. I was like making silly YouTube videos and like home decor videos on social media, kind of on Instagram. But when I started dating my once upon a husband, he was 15, I was 17. We were high school sweethearts, and we were passing folded up notes to each other. That's how we flirted with each other. And we were both class clowns of our classes, and we just hit it off by passing each other in the hallway and just being really goofy together. And it's so hard to do that through social media because you can't read tone. You just don't know when somebody's being sarcastic, which is funny because I was being very sarcastic on Sammy's live when I was doing the speed dating, and people were like, what? She doesn't take anything seriously. I'm a very sarcastic person, but you can't do that through like text or an app, or I don't know. It's just very strange. Kathy, you're amazing. Just know that. Kathy, thank you. Kathy knows my past relationship. You're one of the people that I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm just like, I'm mortified for people that I grew up with like you that found out about he and I, because I know a lot of people looked up to us. I'm not saying you did. I'm just saying in general. Like I think of you and I think of everybody that we knew, and it let so many people down. Like so many people down. It grosses me out. Carmela, it looks like a bagel. Cute with the bagel. Thank you for the laugh. There's also a cupcake one and a peppermint one. Wait, so is it a fluffy stool? Is it a fluffy, like stuffed stool that looks like a bagel? I want to look like a bagel. A cupcake stool, or are they wooden? Are they cut to look like these shapes out of wood? I'm so confused. Brian, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Just Lookin' says the good for you was in reply to you were not going to be depressed stage anymore. Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Thank you. I was just saying that in general. Because a lot of people do say, like, good for you for getting divorced. For getting divorced. I relate, same. Maddie, you can be my main character. Oh, guys, this is not a speed dating live, okay? Stacy, anybody would be a lucky man to have you. Never forget that. Thank you. He said the same thing. Ew. Enjoying this freezing weather here? Immediately no. Disgusting. I hate it. Sarcasm is an awesome part of your personality. Never change for anyone. I love it. I love when people can keep up with sarcasm. Oh God, they're going fast. Carmela, no, the stool. It's a hard plaster, I think. There was a strawberry and orange one in the summer. I just can't picture. Is it like knee height? Like I'm picturing a bagel. A bagel stool would be flat to the ground and a fat round like a bean bag with a hole in the middle of it. I can't picture a bagel stool. Or is it like the seat is a round bagel and there's a hole for your hemorrhoids if you need it, and then it has legs coming out the bottom that you sit on. So when I do a podcast, I know some of you guys in here listen to my podcast. The way that I'm like describing things and showing like this on the live stream, that's what I'm doing on my podcast, but nobody can ever see it. So this is why I like going live with you guys. So you can see ill for real actually come to life. People keep buying them all. Well, yeah, that sounds hilarious and adorable. You didn't let anyone down. I was hurting for you. You're such a genuine person. You deserve the best. Thank you, Kathy. Love you. I'm the weird guy that keeps telling you how much I like the tree. Yeah, there's someone in here, Jim, who joins my live stream, and he's just obsessed with the trees on the property that I'm working on the camper. So it's up to your knees. Okay, the stool goes up to your knees. It's like 3-level bagels stacked. Carmela, that is an important detail that you very much so missed. You didn't tell me it was stacked bagels. What the hell? That sounds adorable. Do they have a donut one? That would be really cute too. Stacked donuts. Are they different bagels? Is it an everything bagel and a plain bagel and maybe a blueberry bagel or a cinnamon raisin bagel? What kind of bagels? Now I want this stool. I need one for my camper. Have you ever been to Lake Superior? If you can see my face. Which one is that? I don't know. Tell me where it's at. Maybe I'll tell you. I forget where this Superior is. I picture a bagel stool looking like a hemorrhoid pillow type of stool. Yeah, that's what I pictured. LOL. Oops. Or an onion bagel. That's a good one. Maddie, last time I did my podcast on here, you were in these comments and you're back. And we were talking a lot about food. There was a big, long pizza debacle. We were all talking about different kinds of pizza. Top of Wisconsin. I don't know, actually. I may have been. Urban Outfitters has a pickle side table. What are these food furnitures? Okay, I need to look this up. I wish I had the claws on right now so I can type. I gotta type in these food stools. I'm gonna stop this recording. I'm gonna look up. Oh my gosh! And if you listen to the podcast, I'm always Googling things and looking things up. Do you remember one of my episodes where I talked about where cashews come from? How cashews grow? Let's see, my microphone's in the way though. But now that you guys are on here on the live stream, you can see what I'm Googling. Food. Okay, I just Googled. Oh, for the podcast. I just Googled. Thank God I didn't press images. I Googled food stools. And it says food stools, it causes black poop. Thank God. I don't want to see that. Google doesn't know what I'm looking for. Oh my gosh, I almost clicked on it too. Food stools. I'm gonna put food stool furniture. Oh my god. I wish my sister was with me. Wayfair furniture blowout. Guys, Wayfair's having a furniture blowout. This is what's coming up. Girl, I miss your laugh. Thank you. I was just talking to someone. It's just like boring stools. They're just all boring. I just met up with someone that I have not seen since high school, an old high school friend of one of my best friends. We were in the same class together, and that's been what, like 13 years? And she was like, "Oh my gosh, this is what I remember of you. Your face and your laugh. Your like, I guess I laughed the same. I was like, I'm so sorry. Everybody used to tell me that I'm like really loud and annoying in high school, so I'm sure I'm really being really loud. And she's like, no, oh my gosh, I love that. Like, you're like literally exactly the same. I don't like my laugh, but it's fine. I'll deal with it. Food stool furniture from Home Goods, you said? I don't see nothing. I'm going to show you if I find one. Oh! There's an ice cream and a lemon. And Oreos? Okay, no, this is adorable. Look at the little cupcakes. Isn't that cute? I really like those cupcake ones. I was picturing a cupcake that's piled up with like whipped cream. I'm like, how the fuck are you supposed to sit on that? The whipped cream and the tippy top of the cherry on top's gonna go up your bunghole. But it's a flat cupcake, which makes more sense. The lemon's really cute. Oh, I love that. That's adorable. And I'm glad that it's really nice that they look realistic too, because they could have very much so gone with like cartoony cupcakes, cartoony bagels, but I love it. Literally looks like giant donuts. I'm starving. Type bagel stool TikTok. Oh, yes, the TikTok thing. It all makes sense. Noemi, do you want to be a guest on my podcast right now? I've been trying to do one with you. What are you doing tomorrow? Want to give out candy with me? Guys, Noemi is my friend that just did my claws. She's my nail lady. Everybody hype her up. Comment in the comments, please, if you want her to join so that we can do a podcast, because we've been trying to do one for a while and it hasn't happened. I was supposed to go with her to Six Flags yesterday, and today I just realized what day it is and I freaking missed it. I was supposed to go on roller coasters, and thank God I didn't, because I would have been like this and somebody's eye would have been poked out with those claws at some point. I can, but what about? We were going to talk about different things. I mean, the conversation just kind of takes off once you start going. I was going to ask what happened with your nails. I literally cut them with clippers and then I rounded them out. But they're still cute. Like you could still see Cinderella on it. Isn't that cute? Yeah, she's one of my best friends. Oh, Carmela. That is Waggy. He's in here sometimes. I don't know if he's in here or not. Long story. Long story. Very long story. 2 years long story. I don't know. Should I dispose? Okay. Let me go back to my podcast. So I will update for podcast's sake. Editing. Enter now. Almost 2 years ago, when I first found out about my husband cheating, I went through a really crazy phase of like, I just was like, what's this feel like? It must be fun dating and talking to other people. Let me see what it's about. So I got onto I got onto all to I got onto all the dating apps and created a profile to just like talk to people and like flirt. And we were having therapy at one point with a person who is not a therapist or licensed in any way, kind of giving us advice and trying to help our relationship, but it wasn't helping because all they were doing was telling us that we needed to what's the word? Gray rock a person for a year. Don't talk to them, distance and time apart, whatever. And I'm very much so like, that's my husband. I don't believe in, was it Dr. Phil? This is where I wish people were in here live so that you can see that out loud. Oh my gosh, my podcast will sound so dumb. Someone commented and said, was it Dr. Phil? Yes, it was Dr. Philomena. So, Dr. Phil gave us the advice of gray rocking each other and not talking. And I think it made things worse. And I spiraled and they were like, do something groundbreaking, shake them up, give them taste of your own medicine type deal. And my way of doing that was like, I'm going to have a one night stand. I'm just going to go and see what this is about. So had a little fun for a couple of weeks. Absolutely not me. No, thank you. Immediately no. Do I have a moderator in here? Somebody just said something and they erased it. I don't know what happened. I need to read the drama before you delete it. Dr. Phil. Yeah, don't take therapy. Don't get therapy from people who are not therapists. Yep. Oh, what they say. Text me what they say. So yeah, definitely not me. I have a friend who's like, date around and experience and live your life and, just have fun. And yeah, and they were able to do that for a few years until they were like ready to settle down again. And I was like, I hate this. But in that time frame is when I met Airbnb guy, Waggy, aka Nicholas. Not an FBC therapist, actually. Kathy asks, is it a First Baptist Church therapist? No. Surprisingly, I don't know if they went there in the past. They're affiliated with people from there, but no, like they're out of it and they're like normal. Do it only if you want to. Yeah, so it's definitely wasn't for me. So that's when I met him and I was like, hey, just letting you know, this is the worst I've ever been in my whole life and I'm still married, yada yada. This Kale, thank you. Mic check. Let's get it started in hot. Let's get it started in here. That's the first thing that came to my mind. I didn't know what to sing. Sorry. You can kick me out if you want. So anyways, I've known him the whole time that we were going through the divorce, and we've kept in touch and we've stayed friends, and things got serious and then they weren't serious. And then my once upon a husband was being manipulative and wanted to make it work. And I was traveling around the country and he didn't want to make it work. And then lots of other things happened that I have yet to expose on the podcast. One day we will talk about it because this is ill for real. And we get down and dirty. We get deep. But now is not the time. Then this past summer, I have been a homeowner. I lived in a house that I purchased with my once upon a husband. And so Nick is his name. He was going through the process of purchasing his first home, and I helped give some advice and like my experiences, and this is what I did and what you could do, and yada yada. And I was there rooting him on, cheering him on. And that's the house, the Airbnb in Pennsylvania. And so plans were I was going to fix up the camper to a state. Remember when I boarded it all up? I don't know if podcast knows this, but TikTok might know. I got somebody to come out and put plywood and cover everything up so that it was in a state that was safe enough to drive. So I was going to take the camper to Pennsylvania to fix it up there. And that's where I was going to do all the live streams and have a beautiful mountain view while also running this Airbnb for his house that he had just purchased. I've always had a dream of having an Airbnb and being able to travel when it's being rented out. And it was perfect because I have a camper and I had an entire storage unit full of every piece of furniture you could possibly imagine, couches, tables, carpets, everything, just everything. I was like, I'm going to stock and redecorate this Airbnb. And we went down to El Paso. Sarah, if you're in here, love you. Met some of his friends and things got pretty serious. Divorce, is finalized, or maybe it was like close to being officially finalized. And he wanted to make things official. So we made things official, but then he went back home to Pennsylvania and I went back here to Indiana to fix up the camper. And that was going to be a month's time. That slowly turned into 2 months' time because of complications with just everything going on in my life and camper and storage and divorce. And so by the time the 2 months was like, okay, we got a couple more days to like see each other and I'm going to be in Pennsylvania. He's going to drive down and come get me. And we were going to go to Pennsylvania and got cold feet. So it's a situationship at this point, and I don't know. I think he just got nervous that we were going to be living together, and I was like, we don't have to live together. I have my camper. Like, I'm not going to like move in if you don't move. But he just like couldn't do the long distance, and I couldn't do the long distance. I didn't like it either. But like 2 more days, So that's where it's at. So the Airbnb is like on pause because I'm like, is it a business relationship now? But now there's not a camper there for like him to like use and stay in when it's being rented out. So he just wanted his home back, and he works a lot. And when he is off work, he just wants to be comfortable in his own space. So we have put the Airbnb on pause. It's not like stopped, but yeah, right now everything's just kind of like going with the flow. I mean, there's plenty more details, and like my close friends that are like in here listening. Noemi is one of them. There's a lot of stuff that I'm leaving out, but that's basically what happened. It was just like they freaked out, like this is too fast, and I'm like 2 years is not fast for me, but like maybe 2 years is fast for him, And I was just freshly divorced, but I'm just like I'm a relationship person. I'm not a fling person. I know what I like. I know what I want, and I'm not saying it was serious enough that we're like planning on getting married or anything like that. But I don't know, it was fun. The Airbnb while it lasted. Hopefully, I can get. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff in the works, but that's Airbnb guy. Be nice to him or don't. Do whatever you want. I don't care. But I am not in a relationship. All that to say, it's not official anymore. Home is where you make it. It's right here. in my will heart. Long distance is seriously not for me. Yeah, not for me either. But that's the thing is like, it was really stressful. And he was like, I don't do long distance. I can't do this. I don't like it. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, we're not in a long distance relationship. We're just like, we've been together and traveling, and we're not together right now. We're long distance for the time being. And sure, the time like spread out a little bit more than was expected. But like 2 days before you're about to be together, just like, yeah, I mean, I get it. Everybody's different, and people, you're not ready, whatever. But she definitely is. I told her if I was lesbian, I would marry her. No, Emmy. True, babes. Uh-oh, somebody else said something. Are people being mean? I don't care if people are mean to me. Just don't be mean to each other. Yeah, I don't know. It's a situationship for sure. I don't know what else to tell you. But that's a lot of tea. Oh my God, 73 of you guys in here like know so much. I feel bad you did all that. Yeah, it was a lot of advertising. I took about a truckload of stuff to Pennsylvania to like stock it up, and thanks for the tea. Yeah, a lot of stuff on social media, and I mean a lot. Emptying the storage unit, I was emptying it out and like bending, like literally killing myself to empty that storage unit, which is 13 years of stuff from my life. My whole house, my memories, my everything, my childhood piano, just everything was like so. This is why I took a break. Thank you, Bradley, for all the roses. If you guys see me taking breaks on here, it's because I'm just like overwhelmed and stressed. Like, I did not share. I've always been one to share everything and all the details of my life. And I just didn't want to. I was like, I'm not going to go on here and like be crying and being like, I literally had to clean out all my stuff and I have nothing from my life. And I have no memories left. And I hurt my back moving this piano. And it was just like too much. Like, and so I just like, I say deuces. I don't make TikToks. I don't really update on Instagram as much. I try to keep you guys updated, and I try to keep up on these podcasts. I don't even need to. But it's just very strange for me to be a lot more private than what I ever have been. But I have been curious. I'm like, I wonder if people just like, they know. They see me tagging so and so on Instagram stories. They see me like updating this Airbnb, and then this guy was joining my live streams, and like, I'm just curious if I gave anything away, or can you guys let me know? Am I doing a good job at being very private? Am I being a good job? Am I doing a good job at not giving away my secrets? Or am I dumb and you guys knew everything? You don't know what's. I know. You're not alone. I can't even read right now. Sean said, "You're not alone. Thank you. You are not alone as well." Yesenia in his house. You look so adorable with the crown and stickers. Thank you. It's kind of perfect timing. It's Halloween, so doesn't look like I'm being a child. Sarah, she said, "I'm back. Can't sleep." Sarah, have you been in here? I gave away a lot of tea. She said she's back. If she missed all that, that was like immaculate timing for like not hearing everything. I kind of feel bad. Like, was it not my tea to give? But it was. I'm exposing everybody on this TikTok, on this podcast. I didn't hear any of it. Oh, shit. It was a lot of waggy talk. They were asking who the Airbnb guy is. Break it down again. Start at Dr. Phil. No, Dr. Phil. It was your tea, not too much information. Okay, cool. Next story. Okay, we got some questions rolling in. I don't know what to do with the comments. I don't know who wants to interact and who doesn't. So it's still an open invite if you want to request to join. It'll be very easy. I won't pressure you. But Rob says, if you were 10 years older. Oh, damn. I thought you were asking me a question. If you were 10 years older, I would be trying to catch you. I totally read the first line of that, and I thought you were going to ask me, like, oh, I don't know. Or if you were for 10 years. It's Halloween. Happy Halloween, guys. If anybody wants to join and tell me spooky stories, please do. If you could have one superpower for 24 hours, what would it be? What would be worth having for 24 hours only? Because I immediately go to being invisible so that I can like be anywhere I want and listen to stuff. Get more tea. um a superpower. Name some superpowers. I can't even think of one. Speed is not ever having to pee a superpower, because that would be mine. I just never want to have to go to the restroom again. I want to chug this right now. Actually, perfect timing. I'm holding my gigantic water bottle. I want to chug this and not have to pee all night long. If that's a superpower, I'll take it. Even if it's just for 24 hours. My God. I'd fly. Ooh. Flying is fun. Favorite Disney princess and least favorite. Favorite Disney princess? I always go to Ariel. Ariel's been my favorite Disney character. She's OG for me. Ariel is everything. Why I sing, why I have pink hair, literally just everything. Ariel's my aesthetic. I want. But I'm really, really, really obsessed with Cinderella. Like, I have Cinderella nails. I chopped them all off, but I love the music. I love her heart. She is a hard worker. She has adorable, cute little feet. She knows how to walk in glass slippers like talent. She has pet mice that talk to her and sing and sew her clothes. Like, I don't know. Maybe that's lame, but I just love I love Cinderella. I do need to do Ariel nails. Girl, your nails were so gorgeous, but I love that video you made because I was wondering the same. Okay, so for podcast, just a little fun story. One of my best friends, Noemi, does nails, and yeah. So I was like a model for her, like she'll do my nails, like, and I let her this time, like, do whatever you want, like free reign. Next time, I'm just not even gonna argue with you, Noemi. I'm not even gonna like be like, I want this, I want that. What about this? Like, just literally do whatever you want. But I cannot with the claws. I thought it was really cool. She did long stilettos. So it wasn't a coffin. I love the coffin shape, but it was long stilettos. And honestly, I debated keeping them and painting them black because I think they would have looked really cool for Halloween. But she did them long so that she can practice her character work. Like she painted by hand with eyeshadow and everything. Can you guys see that? The stepmother has freaking eyeshadow. Okay? She blended her eyeshadow better than I will ever be able to blend my eyeshadow. And it's this big, the size of an ant. The eyeshadow is the size of an ant. And it's blended. Literally with the crazy. Hand painted the evil stepmother, a clock striking 12, literally Cinderella's foot going into a glass slipper with sparkly sparkles. She painted Cinderella herself in her little white dress, some bubbles. I mean, you can't see it, but this one was her favorite, the carriage. She literally painted a pumpkin carriage with swirly twirly feet on the carriage. Like, I literally can't. And so then it was at 4:00 in the morning by the time she finished these longest fucking claws with Cinderella art on them, and the thumbs. She gets an airbrush gun, like something that you put your freaking makeup on with, starts spraying painting on my thumbs. I'm like, what? Where did you get that? A car dealership? Like, I don't even know what she was doing. But she painted these clouds, and like the depth and the detail and the dimension. There's like clouds in the background of the clouds in the foreground and the stars and the sparkles. They were going to be Disney castles. I can't even. Next time, actually, you have to do a Disney castle on my thumb because I need to see what you would have done for this Disney castle. If you're on my TikTok, go follow Noemi. She does beautiful nails. And if you're in Northwest Indiana, she's my girl. I'm going to force her to do your nails. Even if she's not available, I'm going to make her make an appointment just for you because you're my TikTok followers. So she was going to do the Disney castle on both thumbs, but I was like looking at her and we started really, really late in the night. And I was like, we can stop if you want. And she's like, yeah, I'm really tired. Really sleepy. It was like 4:00 in the fucking morning. And so she didn't do Disney castles, but I'm like, I can't even imagine what they would have looked like. Freaking Cinderella Castle. It only took 1,000,000 hours because we couldn't stop laughing. Yeah, we need to do a podcast, me and her. I was actually going to set up the microphone and podcast while she was doing my nails, and it would have been really fun. But the whole appointment was this. For the podcast, I'm just sitting silently, shaking my shoulders and shaking my hands, and she couldn't freaking pay. She's like, "Sit still, stop moving," and it was just like one thing after another. How are you supposed to freaking ping on someone's nails with them shaking in laughter? That's my favorite part about all my friends. All my friends are pretty funny. We just literally laugh for hours. Anyway, so there was my nail stories. So I have now cut them off with clippers and shaved them down to a normal length that you can wipe your butthole with. Sorry, TMI, but somebody was asking. Somebody was, Yesenia in here was like, I was wondering about all that. It is literally so hard to do everything. I can't text on my phone. I can't, I pulled my calzones up once. They're like lace panties. I pulled it up like this. You know how you grab them to pull them with your thumb? And went, and it just poked a hole in my calzones. So now it looks like I just got some jank ass things that I haven't replaced in 10 years, but it wasn't me. It was Naomi's claws. The best kind of friends to have. Are you working on the podcast? I've been waiting for a new one. Yes, Lisa. I've been waiting for somebody to request to join. But if you request, everybody's going to know everything about you, though, because I'm going to ask you questions and you have to get deep. You have to get real. We're going to talk about real stuff, okay? No creeps, please. Kill me. Yeah, I don't even know how that would happen. I don't know if my moderators can control anything. Like if I get uncomfy and I'm like, next. I don't know if you guys can. Not just the two. I don't know how that works. Like I do get kind of nervous. Like I don't know who's on here. Oh man, if I didn't have to get to bed, I would. Sorry, that sounded really funny. Work buddies. That was so funny how you worded that. Like, that's how I read it. Oh, no, if I didn't have to get to bed. I gotta go. Bye. I don't want to be here. Podcast Bachelorette. Okay, so somebody was telling me that I should do this. That I should... that I should go live while recording and do speed dating. Like, invite people. And then I'm in charge. I'm the queen. I'm wearing the crown. I could just be like, next! Off with his head. So this is the part of the podcast where I would ask you some real questions and have an in-depth conversation, but I don't technically have a guest, so. Recording live! Let's see if this works.
I'm going to go look for my crown. Just so I can wear it for you.
You're so small on my camera, though. How do I make it bigger? Here, I'm going to kick you.
Yeah, let me get out.
Get out of here. Bye. Yes, that's Yesenia. I've made videos with her before. We met years ago during COVID on TikTok. She's probably crying because I said, get out of here. I'm just kidding. I almost wore that same crown. I have that one in silver.
I had to go look for it. I was like, let me go look for it before I go live with her. Because it was in my daughter's room. She plays with these. And
are they the Sweet V ones?
And I was like, I gotta go put one on so I can match her.
Is it the Sweet V?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. Yes.
I thought it was Sweet Quince.
Maybe because you thought it was Roman numerals.
Yeah. Okay.
Recording live from TikTok live.
I don't go live, guys, so this is like very nerve-wracking for me.
You don't go live, actually.
No.
You do TikToks, but you don't do live streams.
I don't. I think I've probably gone live in the 3 years or whatever. Maybe 5 times, if that.
Oh.
If that. So, like, hey, guys.
That's crazy. Why don't you go live?
I don't know. This is nerve-wracking.
So
I didn't tell you this one before. We didn't talk about nothing scary on our podcast, right? No.
No, I just figured that, like, if people have spooky experiences since today's Halloween. It just turned Halloween. I was like, oh, we could just like talk about scary stories and like or spooky things that you've experienced or that you did or whatever. So if you have one, I'm all ears.
I have one. All right.
Okay.
So this was years ago. All right. So back in like, dude, I was probably like my friend. Oh, well, Lila. My friend Lila had just had her baby, and so she was like moving out on her own and doing her own thing. And me, like the great best friend that I am, I was like, I'll move in with you. So then we moved out into an apartment in South Chicago, and like this is by like 91st and Exchange. Her family owns the building, so her grandma, she's known the building for, you know, her grandma still lived there. It's like 6 apartments, but like 3 on each side, if that makes sense. And the apartment that we were moving into was the top floor. So she would always say before, like, oh, it's kind of creepy. It's a super old building, and it's haunted. Like we used to have a ghost, blah blah blah, whatever. All right, that was that. So the apartment that we moved into, before us, and there was a family that, well, a mom and a daughter that lived there, and the daughter used to go to school with us, and I only knew the daughter probably like for a week because when I started school, I was a freshman and she was probably like a junior or senior, and then a week later she passed away in a car accident. So I had only met her a couple times, but I knew her through friends. So anyway, that her mom and her lived in that apartment when she passed away. Somebody requested to go live, but I'm not accepting it. I don't know what this is. I'm getting requests anyway. So
I'm sorry. The whose daughter passed away? It was
this girl that I went to high school with,
okay.
And I say like I had only met her. I was a freshman.
Okay.
It was like a week into my freshman year,
okay.
So I only knew her like met her once or twice. She was probably like a junior or senior. She passed away in a car accident.
Okay.
And her mom lived in that apartment.
Okay.
So, but this was before. So, like years later, me and Leela now we're moving.
What are the odds?
Yeah, okay. I know. So we're in the apartment, and I would always hear noises. Like I was always home alone though because we worked different shifts. We used to work at Skyway Doghouse. If anybody's from the south side of Chicago, you know Skyway Doghouse on 95th and Ewing. We both worked there, but I worked the evening shift and Leela worked the morning shift. So when I was home alone during the day, I would hear noises all the time. And we lived with the third girl. This girl, we'll call her B. Anyway, okay. So not.
Why are you calling her a bitch?
Huh? No, not be for bitch. That's why I said her name.
I'm just kidding.
I didn't want to say her name because to keep her privacy, but it's Becky, not for bitch. Sorry, guys. Okay.
We'll call her a B. It's fine.
So Becky would sometimes be home with me, but she also worked during the day. So that day I was getting ready for work, so it was probably like maybe like around like 2:00 in the afternoon because I would go into work at 4. So I was like, all right, it's 2:00. I was showering. And while I'm in the shower, I had been hearing noises that whole morning, okay? And I also get sleep paralysis, which is a whole different conversation. But I would get it a lot in that apartment. So I wasn't comfortable there. But anyway, so I was in the shower, and I come out of the shower, and I'm have my towel, my hair, and another towel, and I'm brushing my teeth. And I look up, and you know how like the windows fog up?
Yeah.
So I'm brushing my teeth and it's starting to clear up, and I see Mom on the window.
Okay. Like somebody wrote it.
Yeah, like written on the window. Like you just see it appear on the window. I fucking screamed, ran out of the bathroom in my towel, went across a hall to the other apartment, and Becky's in the kitchen. So Becky starts screaming. So she runs behind me. She
doesn't know what you're screaming about. She's just going.
So I'm banging on the window. I'm banging on the door across the hall in my towel, and
your towel falls off. Your cheekies are everywhere.
The lady and her husband answer, okay, because there's a lady and her husband who happened to be Leela's aunt and uncle. Yeah. So she runs. She's like, "What's going on?" So they give me a robe and they're covering me, and I can't even talk. Like I'm freaking panicked, like screaming, crying. I'm like, "Oh my god!" And the girl's name was Sabrina. So I'm like, Sabrina's in the bathroom with me. She wrote for her mom, and like I'm just like freaking out, like. Sabrina's back and she thinks I'm her mom and she's writing to her mom on the mirror, and I was in the shower and oh my god. So Anyway, so that was like a horror deal. I went next. They had to go get me clothes because I refused to go back into the apartment. So I'm waiting there for Leela, and I'm like, I'm ready to call off. Like, oh my god, like I can't go back into that apartment. Leela comes home and she's like, what happened? So then I'm telling her what happened, and Becky too. She's like, all freaking out. So then she's like,
Stop. I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know. You're saying it's cracking up. What? Was
Leela's like, sorry.
It's okay. These are the best stories and you can't tell the punchline.
This is why I can't tell stories. Oh my god. So Leela's like, what happened? And I'm explaining to her, and Becky's sitting there listening. She's like, yeah, it was so scary, and we won't go back in because this happened. And Leela's like, Becky, you're so fucking dumb. It's like, what? She's like, this morning I was in the bathroom. I just got out of the shower and I'm brushing my teeth, and Becky asked me, who's picking up Lewis? And I'm telling her, my mom. And she was brushing her teeth, and she's like, who? She was trying to, like, Lewis obviously was her baby. She's like, who's picking him up? She's like, mom. And she's trying to tell her mom. She's like, who? And she wrote on there, mom. She was in the shower.
But why did she write it?
With her finger, because she was in the shower.
Oh, okay.
So what happened was, the fog went away.
Yeah.
When I got in the shower, it fogged up again. So the mom appeared.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, it wasn't the ghost.
She just randomly wrote it. Oh man.
The fucked up part was that Becky saw her writing it and she didn't say nothing. So she's like, oh yeah, I forgot. So this whole time
she knew. She's going, oh, I don't know where this came from.
Oh my god. So yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Sorry. It wasn't really a scary story, but
no, that's scared. Funny. I like that. That's hilarious. Well, that's good because like some people don't like scary stories and like they would have been like, no, I don't want to hear this and be spooked or whatever. But
I am convinced that apartment was scared. I mean, was haunted. Because like I'm telling you, I used to get sleep paralysis all the time there, and you just sense things, But
yeah, somebody said I believe in that though, like spirits and ghosts and stuff like that. I think I do too. I've never come across anything like that, but I am interested. First of all, I don't think I told the podcast who's talking to me right now. I think I said Yesenia, but we're reporting live with Yesenia Carrion. She's been on one of these episodes with me before.
Oh my god.
And I think
I'm glad I have comments. I'm sorry. I'm just reading.
Oh, good.
I'm seeing them. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. But that was a true story. And that was a very embarrassing moment.
That's really funny though. Oh my, that's a good story though to remember and tell. Like it's a good Halloween story for like a bonfire and you're like, ooh, and then it turns into something funny.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
But I'm really curious to hear. I've always wanted to talk to somebody who has experienced sleep paralysis. Like if you want to, you don't have to talk about it, but like what is that like?
So luckily I don't get it as often anymore. I think the last time I got it was when I went to Miami. I haven't talked to you, but I went to Miami maybe a couple weeks ago.
I'm sorry, who are you?
I haven't talked in so long.
I'm just kidding. I did stuff like that on that. Were you in here when I was talking about the speed dating?
Yes.
I would do stuff like that on the live stream. They were like they just like don't know how to take my humor when who are you? They asked me they said, do you want to have kids? And I was like, I didn't know how to answer it, and I like made a face like that, and everybody's like, oh my god, she's such a child. And I was like, I don't know. And he was like, I mean, like, not right now. And I was like, you don't want kids right now? He's like, actually, yeah, I want kids right this second. So then later on it came up in conversation again, and he was like, well, he said something about kids again or all right now or whatever, and I was like, well, you want kids right this second, so it's gonna be an immediately no for me. Like I was saying it as a joke, and they were like, no, I don't want kids right this second. And I was like, I'm just joking, guys.
He was saying you wanted kids right away, or you?
Yeah, but he was like, he was saying that because like I was joking, and so he was like, yeah, I want kids right this second. So later on, the guy who was hosting the speed dating, he was like, well, Jenny, is this going to be a match or a pass for you? And I was like, well, he wants kids right this second, so I think it's going to be a pass. And I was like joking, but they were all like, oh my God, what's wrong with it?
Oh my gosh, I didn't even know they do those on here. I mean, I
Yeah,
guess
it's
that's interesting.
it's been yeah, it's been
But I
fun to
do think that
watch.
you should do I do think that you should do the speeding. You do it, the speeding thing on your podcast. That'd be pretty funny.
Like for people to date me, isn't that awkward?
I think that you would get funny characters. You know, like especially if you do it just for fun, kind of like you
Yeah.
said, like sarcastically. You know.
Yeah. I mean, it would
You know.
it would have to be the right person because they've got to be goofy and sarcastic and like be able to.
Well, when they're not, you could just be like, okay, goodbye.
No, literally. But I feel like it would be really fun and entertaining if I were to like act on that and like have that character and be like next and just kick them off. But
I agree.
But I'm gonna feel really bad. I'm gonna be sorry. You can go back later.
You have to definitely be like, guys, if you don't have a sense of humor, you don't join it.
If your butt hurt,
you know,
please go.
Like this is all for fun.
Like,
don't, I don't know.
But I might find my match, so.
But yeah, but sleep paralysis.
Yes, back to sleep paralysis.
Anybody in the comments have they had that? I've been getting this since I was like 5 years old.
Oh my gosh! So it's consistent for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so our friend, I think Lisa Marie also follows you, I'm pretty sure. She said, I remember silent screaming and feeling tears fall down the side of my face. It was a scary experience. And then Noemi said, it's happened a few times. I swear the last one was terrifying because I couldn't wake up.
Yeah.
Oh, someone else said, I have, but just once. I'm horrified. Like, I hear the stories and I'm like, what do you even do in that moment? What do you do?
So I've noticed that, like, basically what I've heard that it is that your body and your mind are waking up at different times.
Okay.
So, like, your mind wakes up before your body does.
Okay.
So you try to move your body because you're awake and you can't, so it's a scary. So, like, what with me, what happens is in my dream, I will start noticing that my eyes are getting heavy, that I'm like starting to like talk slower, or that I'm starting to walk slower, and the people in my dream are no longer hearing me, or like they're walking ahead, kind of like I'm starting to disappear for them.
So like you're not even in the dream anymore.
The dream could be super random.
Like, no, but I'm saying like they're the randomest dream. But it's like they're acting like you're not even in the dream anymore.
Yeah, like in my dream, they start like I start disappearing for them, kind of thing.
That's sad.
I start realizing in my dream, I start like getting tired, like super tired. It's very hard. So that's when I know that that's when my mind is conscious of like, oh, I'm dreaming. Yeah. Kind of thing. Like, like you're in your dream and it's a dream and you're not. It seems like real life. It's kind of. When that starts happening to me, I start realizing, oh, I'm dreaming. I'm about to wake up. Or it's about to happen. Like, and that's what it is. It's about to happen to me. So I start like panicking. Before I used to start panicking. And if I started panicking, that's when I felt like I couldn't breathe. Or that's when they say that it feels like somebody's like literally on top of you. Oh, it feels like you can't breathe. Like you're trying to catch your breath. You're trying to get up. You're trying to move. And you're just paralyzed. And at the same time you're waking up. So I used to like have this thing. I used to sleep with my sister in the room. So I used to have this thing where I started like calling her name slowly, like, no, and she would hear it. It sounds creepy at night. She would hear it, but she'd go and wake me up. Like that was her thing. If I was on my back, I was able to I learned to put all my strength on my neck. And I would move my neck really fast, and that would wake me up. But if I'm sleeping on my stomach, it's hard to do that. So, like, it was just, like, a lot of things that I learned how to just, like, do to wake myself up or to, like, get out of it. Because once you're in it, it's, like, it's scary. It's scary. It's, like, you literally feel like you're not breathing. You can't breathe. You're trying to catch your breath. You're trying to get up. You're paralyzed. And it's just, your mind is awake, but your body is dead asleep.
Oh my gosh. So it kind of sounds similar to lucid dreaming, but lucid dreaming is where you can kind of force yourself to be awake in your dreams, whereas sleep paralysis is like you kind of are awake, like you feel like you're coming to, but involuntarily. Like,
right. So I think lucid dreaming is more like people are starting to learn how to control their dreams.
Right.
Which I think that I've tried to do that and it hasn't worked out for me.
I also
You know what
have,
I mean?
yeah, it's very interesting because I've literally like tried so hard. I can't do it. Like,
Well, what I've done is like, so when I start realizing that I'm dreaming, because I know that it's about to happen, I have tried to like calm myself down in my dream. Like, okay, so I just calm down, just go back to sleep, just relax. I tried, and it'll work for like a couple seconds. In my dream, it feels like a couple minutes, whatever, but it's probably like literally a second or two. Who knows?
yeah.
And then it just happens eventually. So like, it's gonna happen eventually that night. And then if I fall asleep, so if I wake up, if I step out of it, my body, if I'm able to get up, if I go back to sleep within like the next 5 or 10 minutes or so, it's gonna happen to me again, and I already know it. And that's how I learned. Like it'll happen constantly. So I would normally just get up, turn on the light to wake up, and then I'll start praying or whatever, and then go back to sleep.
Oh my gosh, that's really scary. Yeah, I feel like that would be terrifying in itself. Just the fact of like coming to and feeling like you're disappearing to the people around you in your dream, like to people who like suffer with be feeling invisible almost like that. Like, I'm here, and like you're trying to scream, you're trying to wake up or something, and like, oh, that would be horrifying. I don't think I've ever experienced that. Not that I can I mean, there's dreams where you're like running from something scary and you're trying to yell, and you know that in your dream like you just can't scream, but the whole paralysis of like not being able to wake up from it, that's weird.
Yeah, yeah. So luckily, it doesn't happen as often anymore. The last time it actually happened was recently, when, like with everything that was going on in Palestine, when it first started happening. I was in Miami, and in my dream, it was a bad dream though. It was that I was looking for my kids, and I couldn't find them. And then I started freaking out because like nobody was hearing me, where I was telling them like I need to find my kids. And then it started happening, and I was in the hotel with my husband, and I screamed, and he's like, "Dude," he's like, he woke me up. He's like, "People are gonna think that I'm killing you in here." He's like, "Cause he said he's like, I was like telling him like, wake me up," but I was like mumbling it.
Really?
And he wasn't, anyway, but yeah.
And it's been happening since you were 5?
Huh?
It's been happening.
Yeah, the first time I remember it was when I was like 5, and we were actually driving on our way to Mexico. So we were in the van, and it happened in the middle of the day, and I was in the back sleeping in the back, and my family literally they just like freaked out when I screamed, because they're like, "What the hell?" And I was like, I hear everybody in the van talking and laughing, and I was trying to get their attention to wake me up because I couldn't move, and they weren't paying attention to me. So yeah, it was crazy. But yeah, anyway.
That is really terrifying.
I heard there's a movie on it, but I've never watched it.
So someone said, has she ever asked, Lisa said, did she ever ask her doctor about that?
No, actually I haven't.
I wonder if that's, I don't know. I feel like.
I think that would feel like, yeah.
What would that stem from?
I mean, I Googled it before when I was, I was like, what is this? And that's when I found out it was like sleep paralysis. And that's all I heard is that it's like different. Basically, your mind is waking up before your body.
Yeah, Noemi said she saw herself and was trying to breathe and open her mouth, but she couldn't. It felt like she was awake. And then someone asked, have you ever had an out-of-body experience?
I don't think I have. I have seen
I wonder if it's like this, is it the same feeling?
Oh, I have seen like body shadows.
Body shadows.
Or I felt them like when it's happening sometimes, maybe twice at that apartment. And then one time when my grandmother passed away, and literally 3 minutes, I thought I saw her shadow, like when it was happening to me, and I was trying to wake up, and then I just heard my grandmother say, "Yesenia, levántate," or wake up in Spanish.
Yeah.
And when I woke up, I saw a shadow that looked like her, and my parents literally called me 5 minutes after that, and they were in Mexico with her, and they said she had passed away.
Like right then. So, okay, but like you were watching yourself?
I was sleeping, and I was trying to wake up. It was happening to me.
Okay, so is an out-of-body experience is you're awake, but you sense yourself out of your body watching yourself. Like, what is an out of body experience? Is you're sleeping and you're watching yourself?
So I haven't had an out of body experience. I'm saying I've only seen shadows.
Body shadows.
I don't think I have. I think when I think of an out of body experience, I think of like, yeah, your body is outside, like you're seeing your body. That's never happened to me.
Okay, so do you think is technically is it sleeping?
I think that's what an out of body experience is. I don't know if it is.
But you're sleeping or you're awake?
When what? When this happens?
When someone has an out of body experience.
I'm assuming they're sleeping.
Okay.
Right?
You're sleeping and you're watching yourself sleeping.
Mm-hmm. I think.
Okay. Has anybody had one of those? Out of body experience makes me think of Ace Ventura. Is there a scene where Ace Ventura has an out of body experience?
I think that's what an out of body experience is, right?
I have a couple of good stories. Let me try waking up to a 10-foot tall spider, turning on the lights and having it still there moving.
Ew.
Wait.
What the hell?
Waking up to a 10-foot tall spider? And then you came to and you were like, oh, I was dreaming this whole time. Or was it a Halloween decoration in front of your house?
Or was it like a real spider?
It was a blow up spider in your yard around Halloween time? Which one? We need details.
We need all the details.
The official Tony Droney says that they have a couple good stories and they want to join us both.
Ooh. Can you do that? Yeah, right?
I think you can if we would have done it the other way. I don't think that you could do it this way, right?
Does your thing have guests on the bottom?
I was above the hospital gurney watching them revive me.
What?
Wait.
Yeah, I've heard of stuff like that.
I've had it happen one time. I honest to God watched myself get revived. Wait, so something had happened to you, Daryl, and
I'm going to get off and then have him join you, and then I'm going to see if I could join you.
Hang on, mine does say guest. Okay, it says ask to wait, but why would it be asking him to wait? Or can he join? He's there.
I hear it. Is he here?
Ask this viewer to wait for you? What does that mean? Do you see him down there?
No.
What did it do for you, Tony?
Added him, right? Or no? No, I just heard like an echo. That's why I was like, oh, I wonder if he's getting added. I mean, if it was...
I mean, he's right there. I just don't know why it's saying wait instead of like join. Can you try it again, Tony?
Maybe.
Co-host in... Oh,
man.
I don't know how to do it. Oh, I can invite... No, this is asking me to invite other creators.
When you press guest, does he pop up on the guest or no?
Yeah, but instead of saying like accept, the only button that's there says ask to wait, like ask him to wait. Like for what? Also, what happened to my screen that I'm like so like bright?
Somebody said to have them go live first and then add.
Yeah, did you guys try going live? Whoever's asking. Oh, there we go. Oh, this was like... Do you see my screen? Am I turning like all bright and yellow?
It went, so it's like dimmed.
Ew.
How do you do stuff? I mean...
I just tapped my face.
That is so weird. So she has to accept it.
Yeah, maybe you have to go live, Tony, because... No, yeah, that's I love you too. Yeah, I'll text you in the morning, Noemi, or when I wake up. But
right, let me get off so you can have that guy join, and I could join you guys as a little thingy. Is he still on there or no?
Oh, hang on, it popped up again. Yeah, it's just saying ask to wait. Maybe it's just because you're in here and it only lets you do one at a time this way.
But that's weird because I see people with different.
I think it's the multi-guest thing that they use. Like this is just like I was live and you were live and we asked to join together. Whereas like if we do that, we have to do the multi-guest. So try to join again when I do the multi-guest thing, like request or something.
Okay,
You know how to get off?
I'm gonna try to do that.
I don't know how to kick you off, so you gotta go.
I don't know how to get out. I'm trying to figure it.
I think. Hang on.
I think I pressed this. Hold on. Oh, here and now.
Okay. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna have to, like, when I do this too, have like a time limit because I feel like I'll get very carried away. See, it like makes me closer when it goes on the little screen. You would have a line if you really let people know we're having speed. It'd be fun. Should I do it? Speed dating. And then Waggy joins. Awkward. I look normal to us. You look normal to us. Oh, okay. Okay, so I have 2 guests requesting to join. Where's Yesenia? Gotcha. Illest. His loss or win. Okay, so let's see. Connecting. Okay, so you're here.
Here. Did he request it or no?
Yeah, I have 2, so I think it's gonna add us all. So
Okay.
I'm gonna let one at a time join. Do you guys have scary stories? Official Tony says that he has a scary story. I'm gonna introduce you guys, or let you guys introduce yourselves, and then you can talk to us, and tell us you're flying, and then we can play Word Girl.
I love scary stories, so I want to hear them.
Yeah.
The official Tony.
Except,
hello, girls.
hello.
Hi. It's not so much scary. It's I would just say paranormal.
Oh, okay. So we're still, for the podcast, we're still live on TikTok. I had one of my followers, I'm sorry to assume, but I think
Yes, I follow you.
one of my followers joined, and we still have Yesenia on the live too. She just told us one of her spooky turned funny stories. So Tony said he had a couple stories, and I'm curious, so I'm going to let you take the reins.
So as far as the sleep paralysis goes, I would say it's about maybe a month ago. You were talking about positions. I was laying on my right side, and it felt like I was being held down under a weighted blanket.
Oh.
That's a good explanation, yeah, of how it feels.
And as I'm getting my senses together, I said, I woke up saying, get off of me. And then I fully woke up. But I felt like I was being watched.
Oh, yes, I've heard that before, where some people who have sleep paralysis, it's just like they feel like somebody or something is watching them more than like they're in a dream and being woken up.
My mom had passed, actually October 27th was 3 years. And I get this sense of like a good security, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, like it's a good presence, not a bad presence.
Yeah, and I would get that kind of like feeling, like being watched, but I would, go to sleep safe, feeling safe.
Well, that's good.
I believe in messages. I don't know.
Yeah.
I do too.
I think I do too. I don't think I've had anyone in my life specifically. I haven't even lost any grandparents at this point. I haven't lost very many family members. So, I mean, I feel like you can get presents and messages from people who didn't know you as well. But I've never experienced it. I don't know. I'm kind of spooked for if it ever happens.
There was another time where I was laying in bed. My eyes were closed, and my mom was. I live in a rancher, so everything's on the first floor. I could actually look through my doorway, and I see my mother sitting in the chair, and she was up. But in my room, above my bed, I heard a guy's voice saying, "Are you ready?"
Ooh.
I'm like, who the hell are you talking about? And are you talking to me? I'm like,
Oh my god.
and I wasn't sleeping. I just heard it, like,
Creepy.
I'm always seeing like something out of the corner of my eye.
That's
I think there's like a lot of people are sensitive to that.
Yeah,
Like,
that is true. I do believe that some people have more sensitivity to those type things. I feel like I have that sensitivity for people's energies who are alive.
yeah.
I can like walk into a room and instantly like look at someone and like know their vibes, like they're approachable, they're not approachable, like emotions that they're feeling, because some people think that they have like a blank face and they're not showing emotions, but like I feel it. Whereas I've never had anything paranormal like that.
very empathic. Is that even empathetic?
Yeah.
Or empathic?
It's kind of an empathy thing. Yeah. But
I had a friend who, I mean, it's like she actually threw her energy.
Yeah. I feel like some people do though. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, I ain't dealing with this. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And it's like they need it. It's like it sucks because you know that they need the love and they need but it's like, but it could be draining.
Yeah.
You know? And
yeah, some people can't take it, so they need the right person.
Hates me.
It's and I do believe in all of that though, like in energy and like that you can that you can pass on. Same as you can pass on bad energy, you can pass on good energy. But like some people, I think, are more sensitive to those kind of energies, and it affects them.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, I believe in that so wholeheartedly. I believe in that.
Sounds like you're sensitive to these paranormal happenings. Yeah. You got to do some investigating into the next place where you live.
I could have swore it could have been my mom, her mother.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
She was always watching over us. I know she was.
Well, I mean, be safe out there. At least they're like good. They're good feelings and not bad feelings. So.
Yeah,
but I'd still like to find out who that guy was that said, "Are you ready?" I'm like,
yeah.
Ready for what?
No, maybe you don't. Just don't try and find out. What if it's a bad? Well, thank you for telling us your experiences. I'm gonna see if we have. I have one more that popped up. It's DJ Tony, so I'll hear his stories. But thank you for joining, and I don't know if you follow the podcast, but we'll hopefully do this. Yeah. Yeah.
What's the name of your podcast?
The podcast is Ill for Real.
I'm gonna follow that.
Yeah.
As of right now.
Thank you. No, I appreciate it.
ILL for real?
No, ill, like ill, gross.
EW?
EW, ill.
Okay, I think so.
Sometimes I'm ill for real, but.
It was good talking to you both.
And now you've met Yesenia too, yes.
Yes.
You too.
I'm glad that somebody was able to talk about their sleep paralysis experience too.
Well, take care, Tony. No more sleep paralysis for you.
No, I don't want it.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Thank you. Okay, so now if I go to accept Tony, he should be on the right side with you.
Okay.
I think it's another Tony, right? Two Tonys.
Yeah.
Hello, guys.
Hello, DJ
Yes.
Tony. Are you a DJ, like an MC?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes.
Okay.
Welcome to Ill for Real.
I was DJing a police VFW.
Oh wait.
And somebody told me it was kind of haunted. I was like, I don't believe that. Right. So I was setting up my stuff. And then I heard, some noises. So I'm thinking somebody's playing a joke. But there's nobody else in the place except for the old man that let me in to set up to my stuff. I see him leave. Right? And he's got a big smile on his face. And he just it's about 6 o'clock at night. Right? Because the party starts at 7.
Okay.
I go outside to get my other stuff to bring it in. And I see a chair in the middle of the room. I didn't put it there. And nobody else put it there. As I get up on the stage to put my stuff, it slides across the room.
No.
I watch it slide across the room.
Oh
and
my.
Hit the door.
Like fast? It was sliding quickly?
Real fast.
I would have been gone. I would have been gone.
I was
I was interested. So I was like, there's no way that something's set up, so it's on wheels, trying to scare me, right? So I go by the chair and I'm moving it around. I'm like, seeing if it's on any kind of string, and it wasn't, right? So now I'm kind of chuckling because I'm thinking, okay, this guy put that in my brain saying this place is haunted, you know? So I go outside, grab my speaker to go on the stage, and the chair's back in the middle of the room.
Did you say it was on wheels or it was not on wheels?
It wasn't on wheels. It was just a regular chair. Right? So I'm
That's
taking my
weird.
speaker and I'm putting it next to the stage, right? And now it's standing on two legs only.
No.
What were you still doing there? I was fascinated.
He was like,
seriously, I was fascinated. I'm thinking, this is great.
I see you, ghost.
So I go over to it, and as I'm walking towards it, of course, it goes back on four rungs, right? I'm looking around to see if there's any kind of setup. Nothing. This went on three times with that chair. Oh my God. Right? So people start coming in and stuff like that, to, set up the people for the party, to set up, and there was nothing after that. Right? The party went till around 11:30 at night. Everybody started clearing out. The guy that let me in says, okay, wait till everybody's gone in the parking lot. They can take your car, bring it close, and then unpack your stuff and put your stuff back in the car. I said, okay. So everybody leaves, right? So I had taken the chair that was sliding across the room, and I was sitting on that all night. Like behind my table.
You were using that chair.
I wanted to see if it would slide with me on it.
Oh my gosh, he's curious.
Oh, I was definitely curious. I was thinking, what else? You're like calling this ghost out.
Hang on, we gotta pause just a second. I'm getting a knock.
It was fascinating. Let's put it that way. It was fascinating to witness something like that. Do DJs receive hazard pay? Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Hang on.
But I thought, and the thing is that the next.
Okay, so I am probably gonna sound very dumb and I don't know, maybe young. But what is a VFW?
Veterans, something. It's like a. Yeah.
They're like halls.
Yeah, veteran hall. Yeah.
So like an American Legion.
Hangouts for the veterans. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know. I never knew that abbreviation.
Yeah, like an American Legion or like Knights of Columbus. Knights of Columbus. Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Okay,
so
I've
they
only.
Have veterans of Elks Club or something like that. Yeah.
Veterans of Foreign Wars.
So they have
gotcha.
members that are there all the time. That's like their second home, kind of. They go hang out. Things like that.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm gonna go get a drink at the VFW.
Oh, I've never heard that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, we have two in our neighborhood. I mean, most neighborhoods have them, I think, right? I don't know.
Someone was asking.
There's a whole bunch. Yeah. Like I know in this area, there's at least two of VFWs, and then we have like two Knights of Columbuses, and yeah. They have members and stuff, right? Who are a lot of seniors, like that eventually pass away. I do wonder, like, are their spirits sticking around there? I don't know. Maybe he was an old caretaker there who got mad because I was moving his stuff. I don't know. It was fascinating.
Someone was asking if you ever DJ'd another event there again.
Yeah, 2 times, but the first time was the chair. And I'm afraid no ghosts.
Yeah, he's like, I'll be right back, ghost.
Oh yeah, like I said, it doesn't scare me. It doesn't.
It doesn't. Yeah, so nothing ever happened at the other events?
Not that I know of.
Yeah.
But people, like, of course, saying stories like when the caretaker was like, well, I guess the spirit is not mad at you anymore. I was like, what? He says, it was telling me, well, he sensed it, that things were being thrown to scare me. I was like,
Yeah.
so you told me it was haunted and it's legit, because it chooses when it goes and when it doesn't go.
So, I mean, I guess if people show fear or something, that it might keep doing it and they just choose not to come back.
I think it, because it wasn't doing anything to me.
Yeah.
It didn't react again, you know?
I
thought it was hysterical. I'm laughing when this stuff is happening.
Yeah.
It was just funny and fascinating.
Oh, that's
You and I
funny.
have a different definition of funny and hysterical. Well, I would have shit my brain.
Oh, see, that's funny because I feel like in between. I feel like I am very fascinated and all of this stuff is very intriguing to me. And I am like FOMO to the max. Like, I just want to like see something like that. Almost to see like, okay, it's real, it's true.
Yeah.
But I've never experienced
you
it.
Do get the heebie-jeebies, you know, like when you get like something like goosebumps.
Yeah.
That does happen.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh my gosh. So you get the hair to stand up too, or no? Yeah, absolutely.
Did you ever like feel cold in the room, or like was it chilly, like the way they say?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know how they say it's hot in hell?
Oh.
It's cold. Well, it is cold, but they say when ghosts come.
Yeah. Yeah, right. That's what I was asking.
That's creepy. Jenny, we should go to a haunted house. Oh, they're probably gonna stop end already, but
they probably
that
are.
Yeah,
Fun. I do love haunted houses. Wow, Tony, was there any other experiences you've had, or was that your biggest?
Well, that one was the biggest. Other things like the guy when he said shouting or somebody calling you and there's nobody there. That's happened many times to me. Then I'll wake up, so like somebody said, "Are you ready to? It's time to get up." Or who are you? I'm like, what?
You hear those things.
It's voices are clear.
Wow.
Tony said, wow. Official Tony said, okay, flickering lights over here.
Oh no.
Like, Tony, don't bring that energy here. I'm not gonna
Better not. Imagine one of our lights starts flickering on the live. Immediately no.
Ooh, Sean said ghosts are in limbo. So yeah, cold. Limbo.
Cold in limbo.
No, that's the thing. I don't like, how people, they all pray to the devil. No, that doesn't happen. That was just, it was just, I guess it was put in my head. But if you're looking at this physically with the chairs and the table, it was definitely, something definitely went on. And just the fact that it threw the chair angry and it didn't scare me, it's just stopped.
Yeah. I think when I had to leave the room for a second, it wasn't recording for the podcast, so they missed a little portion of basically the same thing was happening, but he saw on the other side of the room that a round table had stood up on its side. So like more things were happening. But you said eventually you went back into the room and the chair was there again? Yeah. Absolutely. So it was still moving around.
Right in the middle of the dance floor.
It was in the middle of the dance floor again.
It was just right there.
That's creepy. I feel like I would be very intrigued and curious, and I would keep watching like the first maybe 2 times, but after that I'd be like, I don't know if I would be able to stay for it to continue, because the only thing that scares me or gives me that feeling is like, what can actually happen to you? Can they even do anything to you? What?
Like I said, they could throw stuff at you.
I mean, yeah, I guess they could throw stuff at you.
That's the only way they can probably hurt you, is throwing like inanimate objects at you.
And he wasn't throwing anything at you; he was just throwing stuff around the room. So
yeah, well, it was man. I guess it was on its turf.
Yeah. Oh wow. Ooh.
But that's good, because it was probably like kind of trying to scare you, and you were not scared. So it's like, all right, you're cool then.
Yeah.
Thing,
Oh wow.
Yeah, I just couldn't get over the tingly thing. That was what was crazy too.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
Thanks, guys.
Well,
I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for the stories. That was a good one. Yosenia's probably like, too bad it didn't end with a joke like mine did. I can't sleep. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you for joining, Tony. Again, just assuming you're one of my followers, but I appreciate you being here, and I look forward to hearing this all again back in editing.
Follower here. I am following you.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, good. Yeah, and now you've met my friend Yesenia, so good. I like the new connection.
Podcast if you don't already.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
You'll be on Ill for Real. Sorry for all the drama on the tea. Oh, but thank you guys. It looks like we've got someone else, but Yesenia, I don't want to keep you like up too.
I'm probably gonna get going in a little bit. I gotta go to sleep.
All right. Well, DJ Tony, take care. No more chairs being thrown around at you, please.
Which one is your other podcast? The one that you mentioned?
The other one is Immediately No. If there's not an Ill for Real, there will be an Immediately No. And they're both goofy too, but that one's just like, oh, here, for example, Yesenia, you can give us before you leave. What's your Immediately No for the day or the week or whatever?
Oh, this is hard. Okay, so basically like ill kind of thing, like
ill, like immediately know, like this person did this or said that or something that happened to me, or like an ick, like just you're immediately know.
Okay. My immediately know.
Oh
my god, this is
Thank
hard.
You, Tony. Immediately know to the freaking warm, soggy pickle in my burger that I bit into today in Culver's. I'm not a pickle in a burger person, but the stupid thing, immediately know to me, is that I love pickles. I love a pickle, but I can't do pickles on my burger. But I'll take the pickle off the burger sometimes, and I'll be like, and I'll eat it, and it's fine. But like I bit into it, and there was another pickle in there, and it's like the taste with the meat mixed with the pickle was just like immediately no.
Oh, that's a good one. And now you made me think of one.
There just could be anything random.
No, so yesterday, because it's a weird one, but it's immediately no for me.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I went to a wedding on Saturday, so we stayed at the hotel because it was in Chesterton, Indiana. Long story. So we stayed at a hotel, and they had a breakfast, like whatever, continental breakfast or whatever it's called. Mm-hmm. So I went to go make myself a waffle in the waffle maker, and I put my waffle stuff. I opened it up. Well, it didn't spread evenly. So one of the cubes, or one of the, how like it's in 4 pieces. One of the pieces, like when I took it off the thing, it wasn't filled in, so it was like coaly. Immediately, I threw it out. I don't know why, but like if I see holes like that,
okay.
Immediately no.
My cousin has this. What is it called? Somebody in the comments.
I don't know.
Trichophomonolomia. Look it up. I'm just kidding. I don't know. I don't know the word, but it's a thing. What is it?
With holes, right? Little circles.
But what is the word I'm looking for? It's not a disease. It's a phobia. I keep wanting to say it's a disease. You're allergic to holes.
I don't have the holes. I can't see little holes.
No, it's a phobia. It's like trichum something, but like sponges or like the coral in the ocean, the stuff with flan.
Honeybees, flan. I love flan. But if it flips over, that's it. Immediately no, I gotta throw it out. I can't eat it because the bottom of the flans always have little holes.
Oh my gosh.
Pancakes. If I'm watching the pancake beam, I can eat a pancake. But if I'm watching somebody or making pancake, I can't see the little hole. Oh, it's gross.
Anyway, oh my gosh. See, I kind of like when I'm making a pancake and you see the holes happening when you're cooking it and they're like popping. I like it.
It gives me
So your waffle didn't completely form and there was holes in it and you threw it away? That's a perfectly good waffle. You know what my immediately know is? The fact that you threw away a waffle.
I couldn't do it.
What about bread?
No, bread is fine. Like I'm fine. Like I think maybe because they're different sizes. I don't know. Bread doesn't bother me.
Because it's kind of holy.
Bread doesn't bother me. Honeycombs bother me.
Honeycombs. Okay, like first of all, honeycomb the cereal.
I don't see them. No, but like if you ever watch a video like of bees or honeycomb, I gotta stop watching.
So just like watching it even is like gross to you. It's not just touching it.
I don't know what it is. But it's just immediately know.
Someone said shout out to pancakes. Oh my god, that's really funny. Oh my gosh, see, that's a good immediately no. People never know what I'm talking about when I'm like, what's your immediately no for today? That's a great one. The freaking
I love
holes.
that question. Just fill the holes with syrup.
Okay. Are you guys
But see,
hopping
look,
back and
it's
forth?
not the regular waffle. No, like the waffle has holes in it. I could do that. No, it was because the way that it didn't fill in completely, so it's just the holes were tiny. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain
Like
that.
the little spongy holes.
Yeah, huh?
The little spongy
Because waffles have
holes.
holes, and I'm fine with that. Like regular waffle holes are fine.
Can't with this conversation. Regular waffle holes are
If
fine.
you look at the bottom of flan, that's a perfect example.
But
It's like
those
we're
are
flushing.
waffle holes. It just was bubbles. Oh my gosh, yeah. So the bottom of flan is perfect. I love that though. It was like the top of the flan is like the smooth, creamy, and
Yeah.
then the bottom gives it a little bit more texture because it has holes. She
But
says
it's good.
immediately.
It makes it good. I just don't want to see it.
Somebody said
Still
get
flip over.
Okay, you know what's really funny is you mentioned earlier you wish that we could see the same comments. Like this we
No, we
are.
could. Yes.
Okay, because you repeated Sean's comment. It said just fill the holes with syrup. I can see that too. So
Yes.
you have to do it this way in order to read them all.
So now remember how you did it? We could do it again. 'cause I
We're
have no idea how you did it.
professionals now. Oh my gosh. I love it.
Okay. I do gotta go to sleep
Okay,
now, guys.
go to bed.
'cause I
A
gotta be up
dormir.
early.
Ya vete a dormir.
Ya me voy a dormir. But I'm gonna check out your other podcast, and then
Okay,
I
yeah.
still have to post mine that I told you that I've had forever.
For 3 years?
No, it's been for like 9 months.
So 3 years. That's 3 years in podcast time. These people think you are no longer with us.
I'm like a totally different person from when I first started this episode. Like, who's that person? I have no idea. But
That's
anyway,
really
it's gonna be interesting.
funny.
But I will post it eventually.
Well, this is perfect though because everybody gets a little snippet of what immediately no is like because we shared it on Ill for Real. And
There you go.
I'm glad you got to join and we both have our little crowns, so we were matching.
I'm glad I was able to find it because my daughter would be like putting these. She hides things from me.
They're really cute. They're good qualities, guys. I think there's link in bio.
I like yours because it's Ursula look.
Yeah.
I love that.
It looks very villainous. That's why I got it.
Yes, it does. I love it.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Good night.
Okay.
Bye, Jenny. I miss you. We still gotta go get that coffee.
I know. So many coffee dates we gotta catch up on. Love you.
Okay.
Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Immediately bye. It's hilarious. This is just like though I wanted to have that as a podcast because it's the type of conversations I just like have with my friends in the middle of the night like this. Like we'll just be sitting in the bed talking about waffle holes for a half hour. The podcast will air. It's supposed to go up Wednesday. I would say Thursday, but then I'm probably going to push it to Friday, and then Friday's going to come and be like, now it's the weekend, so maybe Sunday, and then it's going to be Monday. I'm just kidding. Love you guys. Thank you guys for joining and sticking around. And happy Halloween. How do I usually end this podcast? I don't even know. It's been so long. And then I said bye, puta. That's how we do it. I forgot. Good night, guys.